Hey guys, I want to showcase the new tower in the upcoming Kingdom Rush 1 mod. These guys are called the Steam Troopers. You can access them by building a barracks and going to the second page of the tier 4 options. Without star upgrades, they have 220 health, 50% armor, a 13-second respawn time, 9 to 12 physical damage per second in melee combat, and 20 explosive damage in a small area every 2 seconds as a projectile. Finally, they explode for 100 explosive damage on death, which is not buffed by star upgrades. Now let's go over their 3 abilities. First, they have High Pressure, a passive upgrade to their attack that gives them an 11% chance to freeze an enemy for 1 second, dealing additional damage with the attack as well. This does not apply to their ranged attacks or abilities, just their melee attack. However, the chance is applied from each unit's melee attack, so if you have all 3 of them attacking the same enemy, the probability that enemy gets frozen is about 29.5%. Further upgrades to this skill increase the chance per unit by another 11%, for a total of 33% per troop. If all 3 are attacking the same enemy, the effective chance now goes up to about 70%, matching the dodge chance of a single assassin when maxed out. This freeze effect will also pause the health regeneration of enemies like Swamp Things, though they will make up this regeneration after getting unfrozen, like usual. Their third skill has a synergy with High Pressure. Steam Ball increases the melee attack speed of these units by 50%, meaning that they attack once every 0.5 seconds instead. This allows you to run the freeze chance twice as often. Like High Pressure, this skill does not improve their ranged attack, but with both upgrades, their melee attacks have more utility than any other barrack. If you're looking for an upgrade to their ranged attack, their second skill, Air Support, calls in an airstrike that deals 180 explosive damage, which is increased by star upgrades to 192. This skill only has an 8-second cooldown, and the AoE is large enough to rival level 4 artillery towers. Every additional upgrade adds 60 damage to the attack and increases the range from which it can be activated. At tier 1, the range matches their basic attack, but it increases to 168% of their range at max power, as well as dealing 312 explosive damage max. This skill can only be activated while the troopers are outside of melee combat. Putting them in melee will block the skill, which can allow you to save it up like you would for a hero skill. The best level to showcase the comparability to artillery is Dark Tower Iron, where artillery is sorely missed. Pretty much every barracks in the trilogy fails to stop the endless onslaught of graveyard spawns on impossible difficulty. But with the best of the best supporting them, you can actually barely clutch up this level. Look at how insane the sheer quantity of enemies here is. You can't even see the Blade Singers in this mess. You have them trying to stall enemies with Perfect Berry and Blade Dance, Elora using Permafrost, and the Arcane Wizard using Teleport. All the while, 2 sets of Steam Troopers are launching basic attacks for 66 explosive DPS, as well as 2 sets of airstrikes, dealing an additional 79 explosive DPS. Of course, the enemies are still breaking through, because what's 145 explosive DPS going to do against even this many enemies? Well, with enough stalling power and rally point macro so that they can keep spawning airstrikes, eventually, the Arcane Wizard can insta-kill enough of the magma elementals thanks to the basic enemies getting cleared out. And then, slowly but surely, when everyone's backed up into a corner, eventually, the enemies start to thin out. This unbelievably tanky horde of enemies actually starts to get pushed back after enough endurance. These guys are naturally meant to be used as a micro tower, similar to the Elite Harassers, Rocket Gunners, and other similar barracks. But unlike those towers, the Steam Troopers have area damage as their specialty instead of single target damage. They're meant to hold the line for other towers to use single target skills without wasting them on adds, by supplying a constant volley of explosive attacks. You can also use them for stalling with their other abilities, but this is less reliable than Paladin Healing or Perfect Parry. However, it punishes slow attacking enemies hard, and allows you to rally the Steam Troopers around for stalling enemies in a way that other barracks have to use raw effective HP to accomplish. And finally, you can use them to force a little more explosive damage into a choke point through their death explosions, but you want to be sure that you only use that when the respawn time isn't going to hold you back afterwards. All in all, I think this is a unique addition to the tower roster, even by the standards set by putting all of the towers across the series into the same game. It fills a niche that has yet to be filled, and it does it with style. These guys are like having the Dark Army troops on your side, and they open up new strategies for levels. This isn't the only new content that's coming with the update, but I hope that everyone who gets to try out the mod won't forget about these guys. so keep them in mind as more news about the mod gets revealed. Until then, take care everybody.